welcome to the Veronica Harris Show. I am your host, Veronica Harris, and with me today is my always intrepid co-host,
Gregory Harris.
What else are you today?
I'm a co-pilot. We flying places today.
Okay, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Alonzo Holloway.
Yes.
And we would like, Mr. Holloway, tell us about yourself, because we never like to tell your story. We like for you to tell the story, in case we get it wrong.
Okay. Well, the story that I'm going to tell about myself, I worked with Parks and Recreation for 38 years, okay? And I'm a Roving Leader manager, and I worked in Roving Leaders for 38 years. And along with that, Roving Leader program does outreach in the community. So we work with kids anywhere from 9 to 21. We deal with girls' gangs, boys' gangs, different crews around the city because I have 38 Roving Leaders and they work in all 8 wards of the city.
Wow.
Okay.
38 years. That's how long I've been alive. He's been helping.
Okay, and what our focus is when we're working with Roving Leaders is we go to the schools, okay, to find out what they're doing in the schools, find out what kids is having problems in school. We have truancy kids, we have kids that have special ed problems, we have kids with different problems in the school as far as behavior and all that. So a lot of times these kids get referred to us, and when they get referred to us, we have 48 hours to work with these kids and make a home visit to them. So basically we're dealing with the school first and get all the information before I go to the home and talk to the parent and find out what's going on in that household with that kid and that parent.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Let's understand. Let's back up a little bit. So first of all, because we're both educators. Okay, I'm an educator for umpteen years, and Gregory, he just started his career
2 years.
Okay.
in education.
Okay.
So I graduated from Seton Hall University, and I know you attended Georgetown.
And graduated from the University of Rhode Island.
Yes. And
Okay.
what is your degree, and what is your
I
background?
have a fine arts degree. I
Okay.
did lighting technician, stage manager, and I did a little acting on stage.
Okay. All right. So from there, how did you come into this field of education, or this field of helping young kids?
Well, I look at myself a lot. I'm a kid that ran the streets all my life, and what I mean by running the streets, I went from Garrison Elementary School to Stanton Elementary School, from Stanton Elementary School to Douglas Junior High School, from Douglas Junior High School to Kramer Junior High School, from Kramer Junior High School to Roper Junior High School.
How many years is that junior high?
It's only 3. It's only 3. It's only 3.
Okay.
But I was just
How
moved.
many junior high schools is that?
But
They
if
ran
you,
the streets.
but you have to look at it in this aspect of it. I moved from Northwest to Southeast.
Okay.
All right. And when I moved from Northwest, when I was going to Garrison to Southeast, I had to go to Stanton. I was just in the 6th grade at that time. And then I lived in Woodland Terrace. They had just built them public housing back in 1967. They were brand new. And, you know, they looked like beautiful homes back in the day. You know, we loved them. And then I went to Douglas. And when I was going to Douglas, the boundary changed. And then I had to go to Kramer. So when I went to Kramer for a year and a half, and then some fortune, I ran into a few little fortunate incidents down at Kramer. When I got to the 9th grade in Kramer, like in October, they told me I have to leave out of Kramer. And when I came home that evening, my mother had got the message and said, you better find the school. So
let's fast forward. You said find a school. You actually went to St. Anthony's.
Right.
And we all went to private Catholic schools. You know,
Right.
graduate. I was Lorraine. No longer exists. DeMatha, and your coach, and basketball was your thing.
Right.
And you played for a phenomenal coach, Hall of Famer coach,
Right.
John Thompson,
Senior.
Okay. And the team was 37-1, like
In high
number one
school,
team.
yeah.
Number one team. Okay. So do you think that sports actually saved you, got you off the streets?
Well, what I feel though actually saved me was when I went to St. Anthony's and the change of dress. And
Uniforms.
Uniforms. That shirt and tie did something to me. And I can honestly say the kids that I went to school with at St. Anthony's, they was much more advanced than I was at that time. But over a period of 3 years, they took in what I was serving them, what I had street knowledge, common sense, and all of that. So they gave me the school knowledge.
Okay.
And I gave them the street knowledge and all of that. So that blended in and natural us all together because one of my high school's teammates and one of my high school classmates, he tells me this all the time. He said, if you wouldn't have gave us that street knowledge and that common sense, he said, man, we all would have. He said, you gave the whole class that. Okay. But I was coming from a different atmosphere than these folks, but it all naturally ended to be the same in the long run. And then by me playing high school basketball, being on the level that I was playing, I was ahead of myself as far as high school basketball. Because I walked in the 10th grade and starting in the 10th grade. And a team that was already had a great team and already had big ball players. I played with 3 6'9s when I was in the 10th grade. So when you go, and 2 of them was All-Americans. So when you go and you go to that level, that let me know I was a step ahead of myself. Okay. And then, boom, getting into the education aspect of it and going to a school like St. Anthony's, going to Georgetown for 2 years, going to the University of Rhode Island after coming out of Georgetown and going up in Rhode Island where it was ice cold all the time, couldn't go nowhere, stuck, and you had to study. And you ran into good tutors all the time. They were willing to give you helping hand to make sure you got your work done. It was a blessing for me all the way around the board. That's how I came up with my degree.
Okay, so that's how you said sports and being with your team and just being in that structured environment helps you. And it helped you see the light about education and how it can transform a life.
And along with my 2 older brothers, because both of them went to college too. Okay. And they went to Bell Vocational School, and both of them one went on a basketball scholarship, one on a football scholarship. My oldest brother, he's still in Seattle right today, and he's been living in Seattle for the last 40 years. And my other brother, he's back here with me. He was a psychology major, and he's doing psychology teaching at the present time. So, and then I just happened to fall into working with young people. So that was my background, because I could move around this whole city and everybody know who I was because I was an athlete. That's one. And then once they knew that I was an athlete, then they started accepting me on the knowledge that I had, because for the simple fact I'm working with your kid or I'm working with you or something of that nature. So it kept me moving and kept me going in the right direction.
Now you are the director
of the Roving Leader program.
Yeah. Now is that the Roving Leader program? Now you said you have to they make contact if you're referred. You have so many out. Is that like a DIFAS or is that totally different? Like how does that help me see how that is how that interacts with like a school, a DIFAS, or any other kind of social program?
I'm going to tell you. First of all, the Roving Leader is 54 years old. Roving Leader's been around for 54 years in Parks and Recreation, and they be doing outreach. So one of the things that we basically do, let's start with the school. If I send 2 of my Roving Leaders to the schools, first of all, we're going to find out what's going on in the school. Who's your bad kids? Whose kids giving you problems? These are the kids that we want to work with, because our focus is to work with these kids and move these kids back in the right direction. If you step in the wrong direction, let's get you back in the right direction. Then once we get to know the kid, gain a little trust, now we don't make a home visit to your house and meet your parents and let your parents know that we're working with you, and these are things that we have to offer. And the things that we basically have to offer a lot of time is the recreation centers, the activities that goes on in the recreation centers. I come up with all kinds of tickets to plays, shows, movies. We invite kids to the Wizards game, Mystics game, Wizards game, boxing, wrestling, Toby Theater,
Oh, okay.
And I'm sending, matter of fact, I'm sending like 25 kids to the Nationals game on Friday to their exhibition game, okay? And today we took, I think 2 of my staff members took 10 to 12 kids on a college tour today. They went up to Baltimore, to Coppin State and Morgan. Okay? That's the college tour for today. The same 2 young ladies is going on a college tour tomorrow, and they're going to Virginia Union, and they're going to Virginia State on a college tour. So these are things that we're trying to wheel around the kids with for our education and knowledge, to be able to get them out of their community, to draw a little closer to them for our communication, for our trusting, for our understanding, to make things a little bit better for the kid in the near future. That's what we're trying to do.
Wow, that's a lot. Anything you want to add? Any question you have, Gregory?
I was wondering with the with how the kids use the media and their exposure to different things now. Over the 54 years of the Roving Leaders and you're 38, I know you must have saw, a change or a shift of, how the kids behaving, with the times.
Yes.
So in today's time, overexposure again, so much, they see a lot younger. I think I've heard somewhere by the time you're 10, you might have seen like 700,000 murders, you know, on TV or on a video game, or, you know, killings or violence acts and stuff like that. So I was wondering, you know, with that type of exposure, how has that affected our, you know, young?
Well, it affected our youngsters pretty much a lot because they see a lot of this on TV. They see a lot of this in the community. And trauma situations is very, very tough on kids. A lot of kids can't understand it. A lot of kids even go to sleep at night seeing trauma movies on TV and then see trauma in their community, trauma in their houses, or they don't heard someone in their family don't got shot up. And then we have to come and try to relax the kid, relax the family about this trauma. And that is a tough decision and tough problem to deal with when you're dealing with trauma in family. So a lot of times we have to take a lot of training to be able to work with all kinds of situations to try to help bail kids out of situations. And we are trying to do that all the time. It's not good because a lot of times parents go through it. They don't have enough money to bury the kid or send the kid to the hospital. These things that we have to come and do the networking on to try to be able to help families out in every possible way that we can, especially if we've been working with this kid.
Another question of, I don't know if we run out of time or not.
No, good.
So if, so you go into the house. I'm assuming, maybe for example, you were saying when you go meet the guardian, it was like the grandparent a lot. And then maybe did it shift from a grandparent to now you go in the house and you're seeing really young parents. You know, speak a little bit about that, you know, in regards to what the kids going out there, what are they getting into, who's bringing them up, or is it a flaw there? Is that where the problem begins?
Well, a big flaw comes in, and I'm gonna have to say with us men, okay? Because a lot of men is not around their kids. Not that they're bad men or whatever. They're just not around the kids. They don't ran in some type of situation with the young lady and they decide to move. So now grandmama or the mother have to take over, and the mother really is really not ready to introduce her daughter or her son to another man as of yet. So she'll just take the plane and just move. I always say the guys end up losing in the long run with if I was to give this young lady a baby. Because 10 years later, this young lady done brought her daughter or her son up. She don't got a job. She moving forward. She's very, very educated. She's moving, and this guy is still on that corner, or he's still running around, or he may have a job, but he may not even look as good as she. He may not even be doing as good as the young lady. And the whole point is, what is the kid doing? The kid is going to school, the kid looking good every day. Now that guy, he's a little jealous. Let's be real about this. He's a little jealous of that little young lady and how good this young lady looking and making money today. Okay? So I'm a for real guy with this situation, and I watch these guys come and I watch them go, and then they'll go get another family and won't take care of this family. So now, don't you think that little girl hurt or that little guy hurt? Little girls slinging toward their dads, little boys slinging toward their moms, and that's how everything works. And we constantly working with one another trying to make everybody move forward, but keeping the hope up. Okay, so now what we have done, we have brought video games into the house to keep kids into the house, keep them learning, because the kids are very, very quick. And
you want to keep them inside.
Yeah, you want to keep them in because you don't want them going out. Safety reasons, educational reasons, and all that. And you have to look at some of the parents. Some moms is working 2 jobs trying to take care of 2 kids. That's rough, and don't have enough time during the day because they trying to work with the kids. That's where grandma come in at and try to help out moms and everything, and they try to make sure that the kid moving good. But once the kid get a certain age, I'm looking at that 13, 14, 15, now they feeling themselves. So grandma done moved on, mama still working hard, so I ain't got who would I have to listen to now?
That's when y'all swoop in.
There you go.
Save the day.
We're trying to save the day before that happened because I told you earlier, we're doing, my staff is in the elementary schools. We do self-esteem groups on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the elementary schools and do media things with them to try to make sure that they're thinking in the right track. And the way the population is turning in the Washington, D.C. area now, we have over 1,100 families coming to Washington, D.C. per month. If y'all notice now, over the last 5 years, Vincent Gray as the mayor, we was having all these extra families coming in. People was coming into D.C. That's right. So now y'all see why the city, $1,100 a month. You see how the city is changing, right?
Yeah.
And now, who the kids that we're babying now? These kids that's coming in here now is 3, 2, 4, 5 years old. They babies.
Well, we're going to have to stop it right there with the babies. And we're going to talk more about the Roving leaders.
Okay.
Because we want to know about, how you get your funding and what else that you do to help the babies.
All right.
Because it's always about the babies. It's for the kids. So we're going to take a break right now. And then we'll be right back to talk about more about the babies and the Roving leaders.
Right on.
All right now.
Saving the babies.
Saving the babies. Saving the babies.
There
Okay, so stay with us and we'll be right back.
Okay.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Welcome back. So now we want to talk about the money.
The funding of the Roving Leader program.
Yes, because it's always about that, and we're talking about saving the babies.
Right.
So how do you guys get, or not you guys, how does the Roving Leaders program, how is it funded?
It's funded through Parks and Recreation, and we've been funded through Parks and Recreation for the last 54 years. That's how we have 38 workers today. And what we're trying to do at the present time right now, I'm trying to get maybe about 70 more workers, because on to cover the areas of the streets of Washington, D.C., and cover the hot spots and deal with the crews and different things that's going on. And we're doing mediations and bullying sessions and all of that. I think we need about 70 more Roving leaders to be able to cover this whole city, to be able to reach out, because the reason why I say that is 8 wards in this city.
Right, and I was about to say that, D.C. at its longest point is only 19 miles long.
Right.
And so it's not really big. Like, you could walk it in a day if you really wanted to. And to do a marathon, you have to go down and back. So, but to cover all 8 wards, 38 people, that can't be enough.
It's not enough.
And it seems like there's always something, like as my dad used to say, oh, there's something back up in that hole, back up in there.
And that's what we're talking about. Okay, like I'm gonna start off with Ward 8. Ward 8 is so large. I have 4 Roving leaders over there. I need at least 10 Roving leaders in Ward 8. It's no ifs, ands, or buts, because it's so large. Even in Ward 7, it's large. I need at least 8 Roving leaders in Ward 7. Even in Ward 6. Ward 6 stretched all the way down the southwest. It starts all the way up there by Eastern High School and stretches all the way down the southwest. I need at least 8 to 10 more Roving leaders in Ward 6. Ward 5 is a large area too. So we need at least 6 to 7 more Roving leaders. I have in each one of them ward at least 2 or 3 people in each one of them ward, but I need more, okay? The other thing is, in Ward 1, we dealing with a large area in Ward 1 right now, and we having a lot of Hispanics up in Ward 1. The gang situation up in Ward 1 is getting larger, so we're spreading out. I have 3 Roving leaders in Ward 1 right now, and 1 Spanish person. Now, I want to have at least 5 more Spanish people up in Ward 1.
Right, you need someone to speak the language.
Right, to speak the language.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So these are things that I'm fighting for, and I also really like to have 3 more managers. The reason why, because me and a young lady, Miss Cecilia Thomas, is the manager. She's my assistant, and then I have 1 office assistant. So that means us 2 is running and checking on these 38 people all the time, all right? And then during the summertime, we hire like 40 workers, all right? Now, y'all say, why you hire 40 workers? I have what you call a skate mobile fun wagon. That's Skatemobile. We bring.
We remember that
Y'all
because
know
we
about
did it back.
skate?
Yeah,
All
we did
right.
it
So
back
you
in the
roller
day.
skates and all of that. So I got 100 skates on that truck, and we take it around to the recreation centers during the morning and the focus improvement areas in the evening, which is focus improvement, which we call hot spots in the different areas of the city, and we let them roller skate along with this fun wagon. The fun wagon basically does the same thing, and we have hula hoops, bicycle, green machines, basketballs, and all that on the fun wagon. So that goes around to all 8 wards of the city during the summertime. Then what I came up with, we have a movie night.
Oh.
Tuesday night through Saturday night. So that starts at 8 o'clock and goes to 11 o'clock at night. So now we got movie night. So now kids can come out and watch the movies at night and get popcorn.
Tuesday through Saturday?
Yeah, but it's all through. It may be in Northeast one night, maybe in Southeast or Ward 8 or Ward 1. It moves around. The same with the Skatemobile and the fun wagon. We do the whole city. All right, along with doing special events. Okay. And what I mean by special events, the mayor may have a special event, so we have to bring them machines out. So when the mayor has something special, here we go. I bring out a moon bounce for the kids.
The bouncy house.
Bouncy house. Now, we don't got fixed. Now I have a rock wall. You have to, kids like to climb the rock wall.
Oh,
yeah, you have to climb
those
and
are
go
so
up to the
fun.
ring the bell. Our mayor, this past summer, she went up and touched the bell because she climbed the rock wall along with Ward 8 council member. Both of them went up there and climbed the bell in front at a special event, and everybody just loved it. And these are things that we are constantly doing to bring our younger kids, our older kids together. Now what we done went out and bought is an obstacle course that we're going to put an obstacle course.
You got to go ring the bell.
Okay.
Okay, I got you.
But the Veronica Harris show has to go ring the bell.
So now we got an obstacle course that we are having kids to play on. That's brand new. We're gonna bring it out, featured it this summer at different sites, and that's for special events. So these are things that we are doing as special events and special activities for the Roving Leader program, along with, all right, we have a program called Camp Footloose. Camp Footloose deal with kids anywhere from 8 years old to 13 years old. And they come from all over the city, and we have 2 drivers to pick these kids up from all over the city to bring them down to Walker Jones Terrell to Camp Footloose, to a basketball camp during the morning, and in the evening.
That's right up your alley.
In the evening time, they may go to the baseball game, to the basketball game. They may go to the museum. They may go to the Dunner Theater. So it constantly keeps them moving. And the reason why everybody said, why y'all working with them 8 to 10, 13?
Gotta get them when they're young.
Right, and then the little kids, they don't have no job. So what are they doing during the daytime? They're not doing anything.
Right.
So they can be creative and tear up something around in that community. So now we got them out of the community. We got them active. Their mind is active. Now they're moving, okay? Now, here go the other program. We have a camp called Camp Footloose, all right? Camp Footloose is basically Camp Footloose is the girls' crews and all that we had problems with all through junior high school, and all of that. They gave my staff the blues all went along and all. So what we basically do with that crew there is we'll get them hired through the SYEP program, and they'll come and work for us for the summer. Okay, down at New York Avenue, where Recreation Center at, and we have staff there to walk with them, talk with them. We have people to come in and speak with them. U.S. Attorney's Office come in and speak to them. The courts come in and speak with them about behavior, all this. But it's a job. They are working, all right?
Well, that's what I want to talk. He said SYEP. That's the Summer Youth Employment Program.
Summer Youth Employment.
Now, back when I was coming up through D.C., I knew that as the Mayor's Youth Program, the Mayor's Youth Leadership Program.
Right.
Because that's how I came through. And that, to me, Marion Barry, the late, may he rest in peace. Marbury was good with me because he had that program and he kept us busy, kept us doing things. And I know that it got me to where I am today because it put me in position to see different international programs. That's how I started going overseas. And also the youth games, which you
played in.
I played in.
What mayor started that?
The Mayor's Youth Program?
Yeah, who started? Who was in the chair when that program was
Can we
on?
go back that far?
That was a great
Let's
program.
go back that far.
Let's go back.
Let's
that
go
was
back.
a great
Let's go back to
program.
Mayor Washington.
Mayor Washington, he started that program?
Right. He was on his way out the door when that program started. Okay.
Talking about right
and we
up high, that's
we talking like in 66, 65 or something like that.
Letting kids travel all down the East Coast competing, playing the games.
And just think about it though. You had a bowling team, girls and boys.
Bowling.
You had a track and field, girls and boys. You had a boys basketball team, track and girls and boys. You had all these, and you got brand new tennis shoes, brand new uniform, brand new
Olympics.
sweatshirts.
Right, it was for us, it was our Olympics, and I don't know if you remember.
Right.
We had the opening ceremonies when all the cities marched through, and we had the closing ceremonies at the end. So it was very, very much like the Olympics, and then at the end, the mayor would have like a reception when all of us would come down to the downtown, and he would acknowledge all of the winners, or all of the people, not just the winners, but the ones that took part in it. So, and a lot of great athletes from the DMV area, Washington area,
from all over the country that participated in that, they grew up.
But just the Washington team. When you start talking about who came through, I mean, basketball-wise, we're talking about.
I can go back in my time, okay, and y'all might have heard of some of these guys. When I played years ago, and that was in 1968, and we won the championship at Howard University, 15 and under youth games. I played with a guy named Randolph Campbell, was the leading scorer in the city. Him and his brother named Charles Campbell. Charles Campbell played with the Blue, and both of them was called the Campbell brothers, and they was averaging 35 points a game then when they got to high school. But Randolph played with me in the youth game. Then I played with a guy named Victor Watley. Victor Watley, he was like a swing guard. Me and him had a lot of fun together.
Heard of Victor Watley
and he went to Easton High School, and he walked into the 10th grade and took Easton High School to the city championship, and they played the Malfa in the championship game at Coke Field House at that particular time. Then we talk about a guy named Kenny Keys that played on the team with us. And Kenny Keys went to Phelps. He was about 6'6". He was our jumper. He was our rebounder. He did all the things. Then we had another guy that played with us. His name was Ricardo Cromer. Big guy. He was our rebounder, knockout guy, bouncer, Okay, now I'm going to talk about two guys. You say you went to Curl?
No, you went to DeMatha.
Okay. Now, at DeMatha, who was sitting on the bench at that time? Adrian Dantley. He didn't come up off the bench because that crew that we was dealing with, he was on the bench. Okay, another guy that went to the DeMatha, his name was Carl Holmes. All right, and he was the coach at Carl.
Well, you know, we can always
So
talk. We can always talk about
Okay, so
we can't hear about that no more. No.
Okay,
we will stop there right there.
But that's the youth games, and that was a good part of history. And then I look at all the guys today that was brought up. Even Eddie Jordan that played with Los Angeles and all them. He played Skip McDaniels, all them guys, and they're doing great today. So when you look back on that, and then you go back to your Mayor's Youth Leadership Program with all the good people that the mayor had in there, and that program is still going on right today.
Well, not like it was, but it is still going on. But it's still going on.
It's still in existence, and we still getting good kids out of that program. Right. So that's the name of the game.
Well, we are going to have you back again.
Okay.
Definitely, because there's just so much to talk about. But we are coming to the end of the show, unfortunately. So we are going to have to wrap it up. But Mr. Holloway, thank you again for coming to the show. We are definitely going to have you come back. The Veronica Harris Show will always support the roving leaders.
Thank you.
Gregory will go hit the bell.
You say you want to hit the bell.
He's the representative, so you know next
time. I'm going to apply. I want to be a leader.
There you go.
Well, that is
then you talk about that money again.
I don't want to be a rover.
But no, that is up his alley.
Right.
But no, we would definitely, because we want to talk more about what it is, and so people can know more about this, because parents need to know. Summer's coming up.
There you go.
So we got to get this information out there.
There you go.
Okay, well, you know everybody, so we're going to have to leave it at that for right now. But we want to again thank you, Ms. Alonzo Holloway, Director of the Roving Leaders, for being here. We're going to have you back. We're definitely having you back. Okay.
Thank you very much for showing up today, and I really appreciate y'all inviting me here today.
Anything else for you, brother?
We said we gotta wait till the next show. So.
Okay, we're gonna wait till the next show.
Okay.
Save it for the next show. More basketball talk.